So it was clear to me something needed to happen. And I hear a lot about, oh, well, we need to do this, and culturally we should make sure it works in a certain way, and it's all this problem. I really wanted to get some data, because I think data is now, we're all after data, isn't it? Everything is about information and analytics and how we're describing it, and then from there we can pull some insights together. So I was lucky enough to start talking to Exeter University. And with the professor of Exeter Business School, we started to build out what some of the research might be. These aren't amazing slides, by the way. If you can't see them, please don't worry. I can see people like, oh, I haven't seen the slide. It's like they're not seeing it. There's no video, it's really me, sorry. And we started to build out what that research might look like. And what we wanted to really understand from this research was, did Sunday night blues exist? Or was it us just going, oh yeah, I think it could be something? What was it, if it did exist? What contributed to it, and what could we do? Now the vision in this research, and it's phased, and you'll hear about it shortly, is if we can understand from academia what is driving this, we could start to really identify what are some of the practical things as leaders we could do. And for Exeter, what are some of the things they could wire in their future leadership programs to start to develop our future leaders? So that's really where the vision of the research is going. So what I can say from the research, and we're in phase 1 at the moment, it exists. There is a Sunday night blues, which has been identified, backed up by academics. Now, for me personally, I was quite pleased about this because I sort of put my neck on the line quite a bit, and I was thinking, oh gosh, is this something? It is. So big tick, there is something there. What we then wanted to really get underneath was, from these structured interviews to start off with, was really to identify what the themes were. So this is phase 1 of the research. Now, it's really hot off the press, it's not been finalised, but I felt this is such a good opportunity to share some of the top line themes, because I think you would all have been a bit like, okay, great, well, and can you tell me a bit more? So these are very, very top line at the moment, but hopefully you'll start to weave in where we think this is going. So the first theme that came through, Sunday night blues, Sunday night, can actually start at any time. It could start in the afternoon, it could start in the evening, it could start in the morning. But very interestingly, it may be you might absolutely love your job, but you still might get it. So I think that's quite an interesting thing. So it's not necessarily about I don't like my job and I really got to go. It's like I really love my job, but I'm getting a feeling of being a bit anxious about it. The second thing was around how the intensity of the feeling. So it depended on Sunday night from our research, is if it was a very busy week coming up, or maybe a very difficult meeting, or a difficult conversation, I know we all have them, that would give a little bit more anxiety and feeling a little bit more overwhelmed, and that bigger feeling on the Sunday night. Other factors that contributed to the Sunday night blues was high workload, high expectations. Now, not necessarily high expectations being pushed down to the person, but high expectations that the individual was putting on themselves as leaders. And linked into that, unfinished tasks. So I finished Friday, I didn't get through my to-do list. I'm now taking it into Monday. Oh my goodness, I've got that Sunday night feeling. And I'll share, there's lots of different ways that comes up. Hybrid working, I mean, this is a factor in all of it. In terms of our hybrid working, yes, we know there's blurred boundaries in terms of work and home, so obviously that continued. But what started to come through the research was actually working from home on Monday eased that Sunday night. So again, we need to dive a little bit more into that. So that was something that certainly came out. The other thing we started, and this is and I haven't put it on the slide, but a little bit of imposter syndrome. So I've not been working for 2 days, I need to get myself into the groove of it, and actually it takes me a little bit of time to come through, so that's something else that we might explore. as we go down further. But I think importantly is, and I think this is you will not be surprised, Sunday night blues is very individual on many, many different factors. So in terms of how we support that, I think that's interesting coming forward. So what sort of impact? So impact on Sunday night blues, non-work relationships, so family, friends. Having the blues, you might take it out on the people who you are close with. Some people said, and again, think about, it's all very individual. I didn't sleep very well on the Sunday, so that's why I didn't turn up to work Monday too well. Some people felt a little bit of heart palpitations, feeling a bit sick, definitely impact on mental and physical health. And then some people said when they got to Monday, it was like a relief. Like, I've done it, I've got to Monday, it's okay now. So again, quite differences in terms of what the experiences were. So we did ask people, what can we do about it? Keeping work and non-work separate. So what are some of the tactics? Again, I'm sure we've all talked about it. How do you finish your day? How do you start your day? Otherwise, you just could leave your laptop on at home all the time and you keep going back to it. Oh, I'll just quickly do that email or quickly have that call. So what are the boundaries that you're setting yourself in there? Controlling your work schedule. Now again, this I think is quite challenging sometimes because not everyone can work their schedule out. But some people were saying, if I just knew there was a time in the week that would just be my time, then I felt I had some control back. So that control piece is certainly coming through. Planning work in advance, as much as you can do. So can we work to that? Fewer emails, no surprises. Variety of work was something else. Switching off and staying active at the weekend, so a big connection between physical activity and during the week was a big theme that started to come through. And no surprises, talking about it. So just talking about Sunday night blues. Now what was interesting was coming out of this is the start of the conversation, which were structured interviews, and those conversations, going to my talking theme, other people then started to talk about it, so it's starting to create much more of a conversation just from the people who were interviewed and really getting that awareness out.